What's up, guys, and welcome back to my reading journey. Hope we're all doing absolutely fine. And today, as usual, we're going to continue with the Discourses by Epictetus. And I'll read to you the chapter 23 on the faculty of expression. So let's get started. Everyone can read a book with the more pleasure and ease, the plainer the letters in which it is written. So too, everyone can listen more easily to discourse which is expressed in becoming and distinguished language. We must therefore not say that the faculty of expression is nothing. To say so is at once irreligious and cowardly. Irreligious because it means disparaging God's gifts, just as though one should deny the usefulness of the faculty of vision or hearing or even the faculty of speech. Was it for nothing that God gave you your eyes? Was it for nothing that He mingled with them a spirit so powerful and cunningly devised that even from a distance they can fashion the shapes of what they see? And what messenger is so swift and attentive as they? Was it for nothing that He made the intervening air so active and sensitive that vision passes through it as through a tense medium? Was it for nothing that He made light, without the presence of which all the rest would have been useless? Man, be not ungrateful, nor again forget higher things. Give thanks to God for sight and hearing, yes, and for life itself, and what is conducive to life, for grain and fruit, for wine and oil. But remember that He has given you another gift superior to all these, the faculty which shall use them, test them, and calculate the value of each. For what is it that pronounces on each of these faculties and decides their value? It is the faculty itself. Is it the faculty itself in each case? Did you ever hear the faculty of vision saying anything about itself, or the faculty of hearing? No, these faculties are ordinate as ministers and slaves to serve the faculty which deals with impressions. And if you ask what each is worth, whom do you ask? Who answers you? How then can any other faculty be superior to these, which uses the rest as its servants, and itself tests each result and pronounces on it? Which of those faculties knows what it is and what it is worth? Which of them knows when it ought to be used and when it ought not? What is the faculty that opens and closes the eyes and brings them near some objects and turns them away at need from others? Is it the faculty of vision? No. Is it the faculty of will? No, it is the faculty of will. What is it that closes and opens the ears? What is it that makes us curious and questioning, or again unmoved by discourse? Is it the faculty of hearing? It is no other faculty but that of the will. I say, when the will sees that all the other faculties which surround it are blind and deaf, and are unable to see anything else beyond the very object for which they are ordinate, to minister to this faculty and serve it, and this alone has clear sight and surveys the rest, and itself and estimates their value, it is likely to pronounce that any other faculty but itself is the highest. What is the function of the eye when open but to see? But what is it tells us whether we ought to look at a man's wife or how? The faculty of will. What tells us whether we ought to believe or disbelieve what we are told, and what if we believe whether we are to be excited or not? Is it not the faculty of will? This faculty of eloquence I spoke of, if such special faculty there be, concerned with affirming or fair phrases, does no more than construct and adore phrases when there is an occasion for discourse, just as hairdressers arrange and adorn their hair. But whether it is better to speak or be silent, and to speak in this way or that, and whether it is proper or improper, in a word, to decide the occasion, and the use of each discourse, all these are questions of one faculty only, that of the will. Would you have it come forward and pronounce against itself? But, says the objector, what if the matter stands thus? What if that which ministers can be superior to that which it serves? The horse to the horseman, the hound to the hunter, the lure to him that pleaseth, the servants to the king they serve. The answer is, what is it that uses other things? The will. What is it that adds to everything? The will. What is it that destroys the whole man, now by starvation, now by a halter, now by a headlong fall? The will. Is there then anything stronger in man than this? Nay, how can things that are subject to hindrance be stronger than that which is unhindered? What has power to hinder the faculty of vision? Will and events beyond the will. The faculty of hearing and that of speech are subject to the same hindrance. But what can hinder the will? Nothing beyond the will. But nothing beyond the will. Only the perversion of the will itself. Therefore, vice or virtue resides in this alone. Yet being so mighty a faculty, ordinate to rule all the rest, you would have it come forward and tell us that the flesh is of all things most excellent. Why, if the flesh itself asserted that it was the most excellent of things, one would not tolerate it even then. But as it is, Epicurus, what is the faculty that pronounces this judgment? Is it the faculty which it has written on the end, or physics, or the standard? The faculty which made you grow your beard as a philosopher, which wrote in the hour of death, I am living my last day, and that a blessed one. Is this faculty flesh or will? Surely it is madness to admit that you have a faculty superior to this. Can you be in truth so blind and deaf? What follows? Do we disparage the other faculties? God forbid. Do we say that there is no use nor advancement save in the faculty of will? God forbid. That were foolish, irreligious, ungrateful toward God. We are only giving each thing its due, for there is use in an ass, but not so much as in an ox. There is use in a dog, but not so much as in a servant. There is use in a servant, but not so much as in a fellow citizen. There is use in them too, but not so much as in those who govern them. Yet because other faculties are higher, we must not deprecate the use which inferior faculties yield. The faculty of eloquence has its value, but it is not so great as that of the will. But when I say this, let no one suppose that I bid you neglect your manner of speech, any more than I would have you neglect eyes or ears or hands or feet or clothes or shoes. But if you ask me, what then is the highest of all things, what am I to say? The faculty of speech? I cannot say that. No, the faculty of will, when it is in the right way. For it is this which controls the faculty of speech, and all other faculties, small to great. When this is set in the right course, a man becomes good. When it fails, man becomes bad. It is this which makes our fortune better good, this which makes us critical of one another, or well, content. In a word, to ignore this means misery, to attend to it means happiness. To attend to it means happiness. And again, in a word, to ignore that means misery. To attend to it means happiness. All right. Yet to do away with the faculty of eloquence and deny its existence is indeed not only ungrateful to those who have given it, but shows a coward spirit. For he who denies it seems to me to fear that, if there is a faculty of eloquence who may not be able to despise it, it is just the same with those who deny that there is any difference between beauty and ugliness. What? Are we to believe that the side of Thersites the side of Thersites could move man as much as the side of Achilles, and the side of Helen no more than the side of an ordinary woman? No, these are the words of foolish and uneducated persons who do not know one thing from another, and who fear that if once one becomes aware of such differences, one be overwhelmed and defeated. No, the great thing is this, to leave each in possession of his own faculty, and so live in him to see the value of the faculty, and to understand what is the highest of all things, and pursue this always, and concentrate your interest on this, counting all other things subordinate to this, yet not failing to attend to them to so far as you may. For even to the eyes you must attend, yet not as though they were the highest, but to these also for the sake of the highest. For the highest will not fulfill its proper nature unless it uses the eyes with reason and chooses one thing rather than another. What then do we see men doing? They are like a man returning to his own country who, finding a good inn on his road, stays on there because it pleases him. Man, you are forgetting your purpose. You were not traveling to this, but through it. Yes, but this is a fine inn. And how many other fine inns are there? And how many fine meadows? But they are merely to pass through. Your purpose is yonder, to return to your country to relieve your kinsfolk of their fears, to fulfill your own duties as a citizen, to marry, beget children, and hold office in due course. For you have not come into the world to choose you picked of fine places, but to live and move in the places where you were born and appointed to be a citizen. The same principle holds good in what we are discussing. Our road to perfection must needs lie through instruction and the spoken word. And one must purify the will and bring into right order the faculty which deals with the passions, and principles must be communicated in a particular style, with some variety and epigram. But this being so, some people are attracted by the very means they are using and stay where they are. One caught by style, another by syllogism, a third by variable arguments, and the fourth by some other seductive in by the way. And there they stay on and molder away like those whom the sirens entertain. Man, the purpose set before you was to make yourself capable of dealing with the impressions that you meet as nature orders, so as not to fail in what you will to get, not to fall into what you will to avoid, never suffering misfortune or bad fortune, free, unhindered, unconstrained, conforming to the governance of God, obeying this, well pleased with this, criticizing none, blaming none, able to say these lines with your whole heart. Lines. Lead me, O Zeus, and thou my destiny. Clintus. Having this purpose before you, are you going to stay where you are just because a pretty phrase or certain precepts please you and choose to make your home there, forgetting what you have left at home and say, these things are fine? Who says they are not fine, but they are fine as things to pass through, as is, by the way? What prevents you from being unfortunate, though you speak like Demosthenes? Though you can analyze syllogisms like Chrysippus, what prevents you from being wretched, mournful, envious? In a word, bewildered and miserable, nothing prevents you. Do you see that, then, that these were inns of no value? And the goal set before you was different. Certain persons, when I say this, think I'm disparaging the study of rhetoric or of principles. No, I'm not deprecating that, but only the tendency to dwell unceasingly on such matters and to set your hopes on them. If any man does his hearers harm by bringing this truth home to them, count me among those who do this harm. But when I see that what is highest and most sovereign is something different, I cannot say that it is what it is, not in order to gratify you. Alright, guys. So, we've done with another good chapter. I really like that. And as usual, we're going to continue tomorrow. So, thank you for joining me today on this video. I'm going to see you tomorrow in the next one. Bye.